there a point for this Oculus Go to exist? Is there a point for me to even own this thing, considering I have a Rift right above us and I have a PSVR upstairs? What about for the people who don't actually have a Rift or don't have a PSVR? Is this worth it for them? Let's get into it and find out.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a recce is the gaming tech. UrGamingTechie is the gaming tech. UrGamingTechie.
Alright guys, so let's get into this review on the Oculus Go. So I want to start off by telling you guys some of the things that makes this a little bit different than some of the other headsets that are out there. So basically, obviously, the obvious start is that this is a portable device. So like a Gear VR, which is what this is most comparable to. The Gear VR, you have to slide in your phone into here, and obviously that's how you use VR. You have to use your phone. So that became a hassle. If your phone died, obviously, you killed your phone at the same time. So if you didn't want to do that, or if you get notifications and stuff that used to pop up that used to be annoying, and you didn't want to just turn notifications off and be excluded from being able to hear your phone ring or anything. But this is all together. So the phone, basically, the phone part that you would need is actually all built into this device. So everything you need, you just pop this on, you're good to go. You got the controller in your hand. So it's the easiest and simplest way to get into VR currently, as far as that goes. Now, the biggest difference between this and something like the PSVR and the Rift is this is only 3 degrees of freedom instead of 6 degrees like the Oculus Rift are and such like that, which means you can't move into 3D space. So if you're used to playing VR games where you have this headset on and you can move around into your room to get closer objects and stuff, that you don't get tracked that way in here. The only thing that gets tracked is your head movement when you're in here, and the actual controller here has can control you twisting it and stuff, and where it's like a pointer on where you're pointing, obviously, and it can control the rotation and stuff. But your hands aren't physically obviously being tracked, and neither is your head for 3D space to be able to move where you want to move. But that being said, this is still a really good device, and I'm definitely keeping this because if it wasn't going to be good enough, I was actually obviously going to return it. But I think this fits perfectly in someone who's a really big fan of VR, and here's why simply. Even as somebody who has the Oculus Rift over there and has the PSVR upstairs, if I want to show someone really quickly VR, if I'm not home and I want to show someone a really cool VR experience or something that may have come out, this is how you do it. I'm not going to bring I don't have a laptop anyway, powerful enough, but even if I did, I'm not going to bring my laptop, my sensors, my cameras for the Oculus Rift, or the camera for the PS4, and then the PS4, and then the PSVR. It's all I carry. This is all I need to show someone VR. That's it. This is all you need. So showing your friends and family stuff is really cool. That's number one. So that's a cool use for me because I like showing people VR all the time. It's the first thing I do when people come over and I show them the Rift and stuff. Second thing is, the most important thing is that this is really cool for social VR. There's a lot of times where Hulu's out there, Netflix is out there, Plex is out there, and you can go in there with friends and watch it with 4 or 5 people, but I'm not going to sit at my computer desk and do that, to be honest. I'm not sitting on my chair for 3 hours or so, 2 hours, and watch a movie with people. I'm not going to go into big screen, if you guys have heard of that, sit there in front of my computer for 2 or 3 hours, and talk to people on big screen and watch movies that everyone else is showing and stuff like that. And by the way, if you don't know what big screen is, you need to check that out because it's awesome. Because it exists on all the platforms like Oculus Rift and Steam VR and on the go. And so I'm not going to sit there and do that. But with the Oculus Go, I definitely will do that because I can go upstairs, and I've done this multiple times throughout this week already, where I've used this for since the 100% battery mark and then the 0% battery mark, and I just sat there and played Altspace VR and had conversations with people, played some Cards Against Humanity with people, had some fun with people, watched movies with people, watched the NHL hockey game with people somebody was in there streaming it, so it was cool to have 2 hours and be able to watch the game with people and have conversations oh my god, that was a really good play. It's a really social experience that is a lot of fun with friends, especially friends who you obviously aren't here with. So, yeah, everyone always likes to go on about the fact that, you could just take the headset off and have a conversation with people. Yeah, of course you can, if they're actually here. I'd obviously much rather have people here, but being able to do this when your friends can't come here, or out of the state, or out of the country, or whatever the case may be, and being able to do that with people is something that needs to be explained, and people need to know that, because it's a really cool experience, and with the optics that they're using in this being a lot clearer, really noticeably clear with higher resolution than the Oculus Rift and stuff, makes text a lot easier to read. It makes videos look better. Everything looks a little bit sharper because of the optics in here. So those are the 2 reasons, basically, the main reasons that I'm keeping it. For gaming, for all you guys who care about the gaming, there are some good games on here. I wouldn't go as far as to say if you're looking for VR games that this is obviously not going to be your best option. Obviously, you're missing a big thing with not having those 6 degrees of freedom. It's a really big difference. But if you've never played any VR at all, and this is your first experience, I think you're still going to find games in here that are really cool because you've never experienced VR before. Obviously, the graphics are on par to using a Gear VR with the Samsung phone. It's a little bit better than that, but obviously the quality of graphics ain't going to be anything near to a Rift because it's using the power of your computer. So very obviously didn't cram a computer into this. But I still think some of the games are really cool in there. Coaster, the coasting, I forget the exact name, the coaster shooting game is really good. Some of the experiences that Oculus has made on there is really cool. Even if the graphics aren't like the best you can get, they're still really cool experiences, especially if you show people who have never played VR as their first step. And then when they come in and get on the Rift, they're going to be blown away for a second time when you show them games like that. So I think if you fall under one of the, like, you know, if you understand what you're getting and you understand the points I just made, I still think this is a really good buy. It's $200. This is the pinnacle to get people into VR. You get people this, they want this device, they get $200, they experience all this device has to offer, they get really excited, they like all they see, and then they build them way up, and then maybe they get a computer later on, you know, build a computer for $600-800, get a Rift for like $400, and then take that next step. But even if this is all you got for VR, I think this is still a really good option as long as you're okay with everything I just mentioned above. Previous list. I'm going to be keeping mine. I really like it. It's really comfortable. Obviously, it's really easy to take on and off. It's really comfortable to wear, which is what I like about it. The controller works well. The actual system itself, the operating system, and all that stuff works really well. And I think you guys are going to have a really fun time with this. And the social VR, as somebody who likes social, I think is going to be a really big deal. You know, Oculus announcing the Oculus Venue things that's coming out on May 30th for the first time is going to be really cool. I hope they do a really good job. Apparently, it's like simulating like being in a concert with like hundreds of other people. I don't know how it's going to work with 100 people talking at once. I like to see how that works, so I'm excited for May 30th to see how that's all going to pan out. But just thinking about watching sports live with people and you know, being in a music at a concert or stuff with like all the people in VR around you and talking and going crazy, that could be a really cool experience. I'm excited for that as well and seeing how that's going to work. And I think Oculus is doing a really good job, and I think this is going to be a really cool companion. There's some apps on here that there's very few, but there's some apps on here that are really, really good that don't come out on the Oculus Rift. The Fear app that I love showing people on here, even though it exists on the Oculus Rift, only shows Face Your Fears. That's what it's called. Only has 2 of the apps or 2 of the experiences on the Rift. They have like 8 or 9 on here, and that's a really cool app to show like your friends and get them scared. I think that's a must-have if you have a Rift. No, sorry, if you have an Oculus Go. So there is some apps on here that you don't get to play unless if you have this, just like there's some on the Rift if you don't have a Rift, and you know, vice versa. But what's cool is that you know, they have parties and stuff, so you can still communicate back and forth. So yeah, let's get into. I'm going to show you guys a quick demo of the actual experience in the Oculus Go right now. We're going to put the headset on. I'm going to give you guys a brief tour of some of the new stuff that is on there and what the interface is like, so you guys can do it. So let's check that out now. Alright guys, I wanted to give you guys a quick demo of what the Oculus Go experience is like when you come in here in VR. So we're here at the main splash screen. This is basically the home over here at the bottom. They give you some of the recent apps that you actually opened, some of the recent releases, weekly destinations, and trending apps, and free apps, and you know, trending free apps and stuff like that. If you go to recently released, basically gives you a bunch of the recently released games. If you were to click on one of these, this is what that looks like. So it gives you the price, and then you can see what your friends have been playing and let you watch the video right here as well. So you can see what that looks like there. We're not going to obviously watch the trailer. So that's a discover portion. Obviously you can click just for you and it gives you some of the stuff that you can look at. Some of the stuff that's recommended for you, some of the recent stuff, the live events that are going on, upcoming events, and some games that it tells you about. You know, news based for you, that what you need. You can keep scrolling through there. You can actually do a voice search, so you can say things like open Netflix or go to Netflix or stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And down here is like the menu bar, so we're here in the navigate option, so I can obviously click on my library here. And I have a bunch of games on here. All the apps here that we're working on, like I would say 95% of the ones that I had on the Samsung Gear VR also transfer over on into here. You don't have to repay for them or anything. So I have a lot of apps already sitting on here, as you can see. And I haven't even downloaded all the ones that I own because these are the ones I actually wanted to check out. So that's what the library is. The store looks a little bit different than what the home app view looks like. So the store looks like this. So it gives you daily deals of some of the apps that are on sale. The Oculus Go Essentials is a bundle they're running right now, stuff like that. These are all the bundles that are going on. You can scroll down and look at some other stuff. So that's pretty cool. Then if you go down here, you can also click on the browser. There's no native YouTube app, so this is useful that there's a browser in here without there being a native YouTube app. So this is what it opens like, and they give you actual tabs to like some of the big sites right on here. So you don't even need to type it in. And of course, YouTube is the first one because they know it's a big deal that it's missing, but you know, Google has to care enough to put it on here, which they probably won't. The gallery is pretty cool because if you click on the gallery, you can see like pictures and stuff. So I can click on pictures from the internal storage, from Facebook. I can even, like, if I open the app on here, I can even do that. Sorry, the app like on your cell phone, you can look at the phone stored locally on your cell phone as well, just by having the app open. Then if you go to people, you got your personal profile on here. So this is me. There's my avatar currently. I'm not going to click on friends to not show everybody on there, but your friends list is here. Then you can create a party. So you can create a party between Oculus Go users and Oculus Rift users, so you can talk back and forth no matter what game you're playing. It then shows you like some of the stuff that's coming up. Tells you how many people are going and stuff, so that's cool. The sharing stuff is where you can go live straight to Twitch, or you can record, take a picture, and share some photos. Notifications, if you have any notifications that pop up, and then just some of the settings for volume and brightness and Wi-Fi and stuff like that. Now, that's basically what the main dash is. What I did want to show you guys, though, is the new Oculus Room. Alright, so we're in here, and I wanted to show you guys a little glimpse of what this is like so you guys can check out what this is like. If it runs a little bit choppy, it's because I'm recording a video at the same time on the device. So, just in case you guys see a little bit of stutter. But basically, I wanted to show you guys what this is like. This is the new Oculus Rooms application that we were talking about opening. You can see I have some of the pictures here on the wall. These are all pictures that you can customize. I have some behind me here on the desk. This is an Alex Morgan one. That's when I met Demi Lovato. If you look over here, this is a picture of my group of friends there. So this is pretty cool. So you can actually come in here and invite your friend over. Up to 4 people, I think, if I'm not mistaken. What I hope to add in the future is being able to just share public rooms if you want to and join them from a list, kind of like Steam VR. That would be cool. You can even come in here and customize, you know, the change your sky. They got some pictures in here you can change your sky from. Change your furniture in here that I did. Like, you can change the walls and the floor and the rug. Some of the furniture can be changed. Not an infinite amount of options, but there's some good ones in there. Change your photos on the wall. I was talking about you can even change the time of day. Like right now it's nighttime. If you look in here, now it changes to daytime. So some good start of customization options in here that I'm looking forward to seeing if they continue with that. Over here we obviously have our media area. So if we come over here and click on that, we'll pop in here. You can have 4 friends sitting here. You come in here and click on Facebook. And you can actually watch videos on here. You can click on Facebook popular videos. Click on one of these real quick and see. So you can come in here and click on a popular video, and if you click play, it will just show up there on the screen. So you can see that there, and it pops up there in front of you, and the quality is really good on the go as far as watching videos and stuff like that. So that's always good. You can also, obviously it's all Facebook and stuff you purchase on Oculus that you can currently do with the TV stuff. You can play music here from a bunch of free stations out there. I'm not going to click on music so we don't get flagged, but you can share music. And this is cool with the app launcher. These are the games that you can actually have 4 people in here, and it tells you who has it installed, and you can travel together as a group and go into these games natively. So these are the ones that they currently have. So this is cool. And the other thing behind me that they have is these chairs, so you can come in here and actually play board games. So you can have the TV going over there, or the music or whatever, and you can actually come in here and play some pairs, lights out, checkers, reverse trivia, and chess. And this is like their version of Heads Up. And you can actually come in here and just like sit here on the table and play, you know, with your friends and come in here. They actually have a partnership now with Hasbro, so that's going to be cool. Where the Boggle's going to be the first one coming out later this month. and then they're going to come up with some other ones like Monopoly and stuff later on, so that's going to be cool to come in here and play. So hopefully they keep expanding this out. I think that everything they've done so far looks really good in here. Hopefully they keep bringing more board games into here. That would be cool to give you a reason to come keep them back in here, and hopefully they make some public rooms so you can come in here and share the rooms publicly with everyone. I think that would be a cool feature to have. But other than that, I think it looks good, and being able to add your own custom background in the background maybe one day would be interesting like they've done on the Rift. But I think this is a really good experience for Oculus Go users to be able to customize a room and stuff that you couldn't be able to before. I think this is really cool. I think they did a good job with this. No, really good. So that's it, guys. Let's wrap into my final thoughts here, and maybe one day we'll do a top Oculus Go games and stuff that I'm using on here, because there's a lot of apps I can show you guys. Maybe we'll do a top 10 here shortly, but right now let's go ahead and get my final thoughts on this review. Alright guys, so we're here with my final thoughts. So final thoughts on this, like I told you, if you guys are okay with the fact that you know what you're getting into, this is going to be like phone quality, like it's going to be running off like a phone powered kind of processor and stuff, but it's still a really good experience, especially for media consumption. If you're into media, chatting with other people, joining other people, watching games with them, watching videos with them, and being able to have a social experience with like 8 or 11 people in a room in virtual reality and being able to talk with them, that's a really cool experience. Social apps are really good. The media apps are really good. And that's only going to go up from here. There is some gaming on here to be had. Some of the games are good. Some of the games aren't that good, but some of the games are really good. And we'll maybe do a top 10, like I was mentioning before, to show you guys what some of my Oculus Go must-have experiences are. Because there's still some decent games on here. Just don't expect Rift quality games by any means, with this only having 30 degrees of freedom and not having the power of a PC. But I think if you're looking for a sub $200 headset, this is a really good price for this thing. Being able to show your friends when you're not home and show your family and friends, and how easy this is to put on and off. The amount of times I've put this on this week just to use apps like Big Screen and like Plex and stuff, it looks really good. Like, I don't go into Plex and I don't go into Hulu and be like, damn, I really wish I was watching this on a 4K TV right now. Yes, obviously, a 4K TV is going to look better. But virtually, when you're looking in here, if you have like a 30-inch, like if you're in a dorm and you have like a 32-inch TV, you putting this on and watching some of the apps on here and some of the videos and stuff is a really cool experience, because you're looking at like 120 inches and your body still thinks, hey, there's 120 inches in front of me. So that's a really cool thing to see, and it's obviously a lot bigger than the TV you have there, and the quality is still really good. It's not going to be anywhere near like a full 1080 4K TV, but it's still really good, and I don't feel like I'm watching a crappy version of like old school television or something when I'm watching through here. I don't feel that at all, so I think that's a really good experience as well. So that wraps up my thoughts on the Oculus Go, guys. Great $200 purchase. I will be keeping mine. We will probably be doing a top 10 Oculus Go games, so I can let you guys know what I've been playing once I play even more of the ones that are out there and see what things are like. And if you guys have any questions or comments, as always, leave them below. Please subscribe, please like the video, and thank you guys, and until next time.
Tech, UrGamingTechie is the gaming tech, UrGamingTechie, gaming tech. Eating brekkie is the gaming tech, going for a brekkie is the gaming tech, UrGamingTechie is the gaming tech.